Somewhere in a hospital in 2022, doctors were monitoring the brain of an 87-year-old man with electrodes trying to track his seizures. While they watched, his heart suddenly stopped. Nobody expected what the machine recorded next. For 30 seconds before his heart stopped, and 30 seconds after, his brain lit up with a highly organized pattern of activity called gamma waves, the exact same brainwave pattern linked to memory, focus, and conscious awareness while fully alive. His brain wasn't shutting down quietly. In its final moments, it looked like it was doing something. This wasn't an isolated fluke. Researchers at the University of Michigan later documented the same gamma wave surge in other dying patients, timed right around the moment their hearts stopped beating. And this raises an uncomfortable question nobody has a clean answer to. If your brain is still producing organized, focused activity in those final seconds, is some form of awareness still happening in there, even as your body is shutting down around it? For decades, medicine treated death as a clean line, a switch that flips the instant your heart stops. But this research suggests something stranger. Death might not be a switch at all. It might be a process, one your brain is still actively, briefly participating in. That idea connects to something researchers have studied for years: the experiences of people who were clinically dead and later revived. Cardiologist Sam Parnia at NYU Langone has spent over a decade studying cardiac arrest survivors and found a consistent, strange pattern in what they report. People describe a sense that their consciousness didn't switch off, but expanded, becoming vast in a way they say they'd never experienced before. Some describe accurately recalling conversations and actions in the room, details doctors later confirmed actually happened, during the exact window their heart had stopped and their brain, by every conventional measure, should have gone silent. Scientists don't fully agree on what's producing this. One leading theory points to the brain's dying cells releasing a final, coordinated burst of electrical and chemical activity, possibly the same mechanism responsible for the vivid lights, floating sensations, and flashes of memory people commonly report in near-death experiences. Some researchers have described it as the brain's last attempt to make sense of what's happening to it, firing in patterns that feel, from the inside, like meaning. Here's the detail that changes how you think about this entirely. Some of this brain activity doesn't happen only after the heart stops. In several documented cases, it begins slightly before, as if the brain senses the failure arriving and responds to it, rather than simply reacting once it's already too late. Nobody is claiming this proves consciousness continues after death, and serious researchers are careful to say that. The sample sizes are still small, and a burst of organized brain activity is not the same as proof of a persistent, aware mind. But it does upend a much simpler idea most of us grew up with, that death is instant, and the moment your heart stops, everything simply switches off like a light. What the evidence increasingly suggests is closer to this. Your brain, right up until nearly the very end, is still working, still coordinating, still, in some measurable sense, trying. We spend most of our lives assuming the end will be sudden and silent. The research so far suggests it might be neither. It might be the most organized, focused 30 seconds your brain ever produces, a final, brief burst of something that looks, on every instrument we have, remarkably like being alive.